Hey, this is National Library Week. We appreciate you supporting your library. And here in the Children's Services, we want to give you a huge shout out to all our fellow RPL employees. And we want to especially just say simply, thank you for everything that you do. If you like to read books, you can go anywhere you want to. You can go back in time, you can go forward in time, and you can go to the most interesting places. This is one of Mr. Roberts' favorite books. It's called Edward and the Pirates. I hope you'll enjoy it. Once Edward learned to read, there was no stopping him. Cereal boxes at the breakfast table, seed catalogs that arrived in the coldest day of winter, and the inscription on the monument in the town square, and books, all kinds of books. Edward especially liked stories of adventure. When he read about Admiral Perry racing by dog sled to the North Pole, Edward was right alongside them, comforting the brave dogs and urging them on. And when he read that the bold outlaw Robin Hood was surrounded by the evil sheriff of Nottingham's men, it was Edward who came to the rescue. And when he read about Joan of Arc leading her troops to victory, it was Edward who carried her shield and held it up just in time to deflect the blow of a battle axe. Sometimes what Edward read seemed to become real. Once he was reading a book about dinosaurs, and he was convinced he had seen a T-Rex outside his window. Now, next to his home, the library was Edward's favorite place. He had his own library card and could borrow all the books he could carry. One day, Edward found a book lying on a shelf behind some other book. The book was old, and it was covered with dust. Edward blew away the dust and read the title, Lost Pirate Treasures. He sat down and began to read. Some pirate treasures have never been found. Now, Edward was still reading when he felt someone tap him on the shoulder. It was Miss Torres, the librarian. It's time to go, Edward. The library will be closing soon. So Edward checked out the book and walked home, arriving just in time for supper. That night, Edward went to bed early, taking his book with him. And when the pirate ship was being tossed about the stormy sea, it was Edward who bravely took the helm. And sometime in the night, Edward felt his bed being bumped. He sat up and looked around, and he saw that he was surrounded by pirates. "What are you pirates doing in my room?" he demanded. "We've come for that book. We think it tells us where our treasure's buried." "Well, I can't give it to you. It's checked out to my library card. You're just going to have to wait till I return it." The pirates begged, but Edward wouldn't change his mind. They pleaded, but Edward folded his arms around the book and he shook his head no. They even promised him a share of the treasures, but that didn't work either. "Well, you're going to have to walk the plank," threatened the pirates. Edward stood firm. Finally, one of the pirates drew his sword and waved it over Edward's head. "Hand it over!" But Edward wouldn't budge. "You better be quiet or you're going to wake up Mom and Dad." Edward had just finished speaking when the door to his room burst open and someone riding a huge white horse charged in. It was Edward's mother. She was dressed in a shiny suit of armor and was carrying a lance. She pinned those sword-waving pirates to the wall. And then the other pirates drew their swords and closed in for the attack. Suddenly, a flurry of arrows flew through the air, knocking all the swords away. And a figure dressed in a green tunic bounded into the room, bow drawn, arrows at the ready. It was Edward's father. "Back off," he commanded the pirates. "Now you go stand in the corner." The pirates did as they were told. "Don't hurt us," they begged. Edward felt sorry for the pirates. "Well, they only came for the book," he said to his mother and father. "I don't think they meant any harm." So Edward handed the book to the pirates. The head pirate held it open while the other pirates huddled close by, talking in whispers. And after a few minutes, the pirate gave the book back to Edward. "It's no use to us. We can't read." "You can't read?" said Edward. "Nope, not one word. None of us can." "Well, I'll read it to you then," said Edward. "That is, if it's okay with Mom and Dad." It was. "But don't stay up too late," Edward's mother said firmly. "And close the window before you leave," said Edward's father to the pirates. And as his mother and father left the room and went back to bed, Edward opened the book and began to read aloud. "Some pirate treasures have never been found." Children all over the country go to Storytime at a library. I've always enjoyed this book because I think this is what a lot of kids think about when they come to the library. It's called Lola at the Library. Lola loves Tuesdays. On Tuesday, Lola and her mommy go to the library. The library opens at 9 o'clock, but Lola's ready to go long before that. She puts all her books she has borrowed into her backpack. Her library card is very important. Now, the library is not very far away, so Lola and her mommy always walk there. Lola and her mommy give back the books that they checked out the week before. The librarian buzzes them through the machine. There is a special section in the library just for children. It is really cool. Nobody ever goes shh. Sometimes they're singing. Lola knows all the words and the hands for Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And sometimes there's a story time. Lola loves that. Now, after story time, Lola chooses her books. In the library, she can have any book she wants. Lola likes stories with bears and anything with shoes. There are so many, it takes ages to choose. Now, Mommy has some books too. So the library buzzes them through the machine and then stamps the date inside. Lola must bring them back in 2 weeks, but she will probably be back for more long before then. Now, Lola and her mommy always get a snack after visiting the library. Mommy has a cappuccino and Lola has juice. And whenever Lola has been very good, her mommy lets her taste the foam. Then it's time to go home. Every night, after Lola is tucked into bed, her mommy reads her a story. It is the best way to end the day.